Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Husky Stadium. I'm Max Steigoff. Alongside me is the always beautiful Thomas Hoffman. Thomas, today we've got a conference championship between two bitter rivals, between the
North Dakota State College of Sciences and the Minnesota State Community and Technical College from Fergus Falls. It is set to be a great matchup. They did match up once earlier in the year, with Minnesota State coming away with the win 35-29. I'm expecting to see some fireworks today, Max. How about you?
Well, yeah, and I think one of the reasons we're going to be seeing some fireworks is because on the Minnesota State Community and Technical College, they have one of the top rushers in the nation with Rondarius Gregory. Gregory leads the nation in touchdowns. He's got 14 so far this year. He's also got the lead in the nation when it comes to rushing yards per game, 117.9. That .9 is pretty important, but, I mean, at the same time, when you're getting over 100 yards on average per game, that's just one player. So you really got to key in on him if you're the Wildcats on defense here today.
Absolutely. And then you look over to the other side for North Dakota State College of Sciences. Marcelio Mendez is leading the nation with 12 receiving touchdowns of his own. We just talked about that. That's only one guy who's putting up a boatload of points for this team. I think it's going to be a tough matchup for both defense today. It looks like we got two high-powered offenses going at it here this afternoon.
Well, yeah, and I mean, you just take a look at what, the Wildcats did in their last two playoff games.
Absolutely.
40-plus points in both games and held the opposition to 20 both games. They beat Vermilion College. They beat them 47-20, and then they beat Central Lakes College 48-20 as well, or 47-20 and 48-20, I should say. But, I mean, both those games, not really close, and you saw this offense on full display. Maybe we'll see it again. I mean, the last time these two teams played, like you mentioned, 35-29. It's the only loss the Wildcats have so far on their record. So, I mean, these two teams are going to go at it.
Absolutely. And then you look over on the Spartans side. They're not coming off some bye this past week either. They had a game last week. They beat Rochester C&T with a close game of 12-7. Now, Stiggs, who do you favor here? Because obviously we have North Dakota State. They came off two blowout wins. You think they're sitting a little easy, but now you have the Spartans with a tough, close win that can build a lot of morale, a lot of momentum for this team now. Who do you favor coming into a game like this? A team coming off two blowout wins, or a team that really had a nail-biter?
I'm definitely going to have to go with the team that is coming off the nail-biter, as much as I hate to say it, because you survived that game. You got all the jitters out. Look, it's all in the past. You got your bad game out of the way. Now you can just go ahead with clean football the rest of the way through the playoffs. For the other side, the Wildcats, yeah, they've come in with a couple of blowout wins, but they've never really been tested in the playoffs. So we'll see if maybe that adversity, once it comes up, if they can stick with it or if it crushes them.
Absolutely. I could not agree more. It is set to be a great matchup. Two high-powered offenses, two defense that know how to make stops when they can. It is going to be an amazing game.
Yeah, so we're going to take a quick break for the national anthem. When we come back, we will have kickoff and we'll have the first drive of the game as well right here on YouTube. Welcome back to Husky Stadium, and we are just moments away from kickoff. It looks like Minnesota State is going to receive. That means North Dakota State College of Sciences is going to kick off. And looking at these two teams, we highlighted those offenses. Do you think maybe, Thomas, do you think that maybe that helps you? You know, you get out, you get the ball first, you can drive down, score first?
Absolutely, I think so. I think it's a big momentum thing, you know. Something that old school football, I always loved. You take the ball, you go down, you score, and you set the tone. And you make sure to put it in the defense's head that it's going to be a tough day all game long. But then on the flip side, you have North Dakota State. They have an opportunity here to set a tone of their own. If they can get a quick 3 and out and show that to Minnesota State that is not going to be super easy today, big opportunity for both teams to start.
Well, we'll see as we get ready to kick off here at Husky Stadium. It's the MCAC championship game, and boom, we're underway here at Husky Stadium, and it's going to be received by the Spartans, who take it from the 15, and they make a quick move out to the 25 and be brought down at the 32 as we get started here between the Wildcats and Spartans. Spartans coming out in their offense so far this season. They've scored 76 points in the first quarter, but that second quarter is the big outlier, 113. They have outscored opponents 113 to 62 in that second quarter. In the first, 76 to 26. They're coming in with one of the better offenses, as we mentioned. Rondarius Gregory leading the nation in touchdowns as we get set under center. Or in the shotgun will be Kenneth Cooper for the Spartans, who puts a man in motion going from left to right. It'll be trips right, and he'll drop back. Cooper looking for a man. He finds it over the middle. That's number 8. That's Isaac Freitag, who gets maybe a little bit of some yards. I think it's going to be about 6. Or no, that was number 6. That was Isaiah Griffin. Yeah, my bad. Thank you, Thomas, for pointing that one out.
Absolutely.
But so far, a big first play, 6 yards right off the bat for the Spartans. So now 2nd and 4, maybe a chance to get Gregory carry or 2. And he will hand it off to Gregory, who's swamped in the backfield, and he's going to be brought down for a loss, and it'll be maybe a loss of 2 or 3 on the play. So now, just like that 2nd and manageable, it comes back just a little bit, and it's going to be 3rd and 5 now here with 13:09 left, as we've only gone about 2 minutes into this one.
Absolutely. 3rd and passing situation, you're going to look for the Spartans to drop back, maybe look for something quick across the middle to just move the chains and keep the drive alive.
Well, we'll see if they do, and they're going to hand it off to Gregory. He goes to the right side, and he's going to barrel his way across the first down line, and that is going to be a first down for the Spartans. So just like that they convert on 3rd down, and that's something that they were doing in the regular season as well. They converted 38% of their 3rd downs, which may not seem like a lot, but for a team that wasn't getting in too many 3rd down situations, that's quite a few as they get out of the huddle and get set here for their 2nd first down attempt. It'll be Cooper in the backfield, hands it off up the middle again, and it's going to be Gregory who falls forward for a gain of 2. And so far, they've been getting Gregory into it 3 straight handoff attempts.
Absolutely. You like to see it. You want to establish that ground game early, set the tone, get the offensive line pushing. They love to run block. They don't want to sit back and wait for the defense to come to them. They want to be aggressive. They want to get out in front into the open field and create some space for their superstar running back. I like the strategy.
So now it'll be another shotgun formation for the Spartans, trying to move down and get past midfield here on this play. Cooper drops back, throws on to the sideline, and it's going to be caught, and that is going to be a gain of, I'd say, 6 or 7, as now it's going to be about 3rd down and 2.
Absolutely. Another crucial 3rd down, the second one of the game. Let's see if North Dakota State can come up with the stop. 1 for 1 on 3rd down already for Minnesota State. In that midfield, kind of that awkward position. I would say they're probably still in a punting territory right now, but we'll see what happens on this on this third down here and if it's decision-making time or not.
Split back shotgun formation, 2 receivers left, and it's going to be handoff right up the middle to Rondarius Gregory, who is going to be brought down close to that first down line. We'll see if the refs mark it. It looks like the sticks are moving. Yeah,
they're
so
going to keep it moving.
It'll be another first down for the Spartans, but that time it looked like the Wildcat defense was kind of catching on to what the Spartans are doing. Maybe they switch it up here, Thomas, or what?
No, I think you got to stick with what's working. The defense has to prove they can stop the run and stop Gregory before you open it up. I mean, if it's not broke, you don't fix it, but you have to get somewhat of a balanced tech. You don't want to become one-dimensional.
Cooper drops back, and he is going to roll out to his right. Looks like he's going to just take it and run, and he's going to be brought down. Not a gain at all, maybe even a loss of yardage, as we're going to have a flag here on the play.
Looks like that'll be on Gerardo Maldonado. Not what you want for Minnesota State. That is going to push them back 10 yards for a 1st and 20 now upcoming. Those can be real drive killers, Max.
Yeah, those can be, because not only are you 10 yards back, but you're now beyond the midfield line, which you already got. So, I mean, it's really going to be tough here for the Spartans as they huddle up, trying to find something to go their way after getting a penalty to push them back almost 20 or almost 10 yards. Actually, I think it's a little bit more than 10 yards as they set up here on first down. And this is going to be a handoff to Rondarius Gregory. Ball is on the ground, and it's going to be recovered by the Wildcats. So just like that, a drive killer indeed. It pushed them back to beyond the midfield line. Gregory couldn't hold on to it, and the Wildcats take over in their own territory.
Absolutely.
In Spartan territory.
Absolutely. Looks just to be a mental error. Honestly, snap didn't seem to be too high or too low. It just seemed to go right through Cooper's hands, tries to give it to Gregory, and Gregory just could not handle that exchange. Ball's on the ground. North Dakota State College of Sciences picks it up, and now they're going to have the ball in great field position. Looks to be about the 34 or 35-yard line of the Spartans. Now let's see if they can go to work on offense and maybe get Mendez involved, get him a quick touchdown here.
Buell in the shotgun formation, 2 receivers left, 1 right. He's also got a running back to his left, as he's just going to hand it up off the middle, and that's going to be Aaron Grant, who dives forward for maybe a gain of 1 if he's lucky. But so far, big turning point here for the Wildcats, getting that fumble recovery, and I think it was maybe just a miscommunication on the handoff. Looked like it was right in that awkward position where you just about let it go and give it to the running back, and the running back takes over, and it looks like he just got there right at the right time.
Absolutely. It looked like, it wasn't atrocious, but it was just a little bit of a high snap that can throw off the timing so much more than we think. It's a lot easier said than done, and that is a killer.
And this is going to be a handoff to Grant, looking for some room, and he's going to maybe get 2 yards after he is met by the second line of defenders for the Spartans. And just like that, it's the first third down that the Wildcats are going to have to face. They are currently at the, I would say that's the 33-yard line of the Spartans, so they are threatening. They're almost in the green zone, as some coaches like to call it, that 30-yard line.
Absolutely. 5 of 14 on third down coming into this. Again, not a team that faces a lot of third downs. They've both had such good offenses all year, but let's see what they can do.
As Buell in the shotgun formation, 2 receivers right, and we're going to get a flag, and I believe that's going to be a false start. And
Dawson Bayless, number 73, just jumped on the left side of the line, just a little flinch, but that's all it takes to push him back 5 more.
Well, yeah, and that is huge because they were struggling to get yards already in this drive after that turnover, and now you push them back just that much more beyond the sticks, and now it's going to be a third and very long situation. It's going to be 3rd and 14 for the Wildcats as they try and convert here for the first time on third down. The Spartans currently are 1 for 2 on third downs. We'll see if the Wildcats can start off 1 for 1. Buell in the shotgun, steps back about 2 steps and throws it deep, and he's going to just overthrow his man, Marcelio Mendez, the guy that we were talking about, the Cretin-Derham Hall graduate, as he was just overthrown by, I'd say, about a foot or so.
Absolutely. Looks like they're going to bring out the punt team here. Makes sense. You're inside that territory, but it's 4th and long here. You can't win the game this early on, but you can definitely put yourself at a disadvantage. I like the call. Got to be conservative here and put the defense in a good spot again.
So we'll see if maybe they take a delay of game too, just back them up a little bit, give your punter a little extra breathing room.
Well, quick kick.
And this is going to drop into the out-of-bounds territory, and it's actually going to bounce over the fence. So we're going to need someone to go and get that ball, but that is going to be maybe not the punt that they were looking for. It looked like they were trying to go for a little bit of a coffin kick. It will be at the 20-yard line for the Spartans, but when you had a chance to maybe push them back even further than that, it kind of feels like a little bit of a loss if you're a Wildcats fan.
Absolutely. It looked like that ball got caught up in the wind because here in St. Cloud today, we are facing 26-mile-an-hour winds here today. Not ideal condition for kickers or punters, and you can see that ball kind of just die up in the air.
Yeah. And it's going in that direction
Absolutely,
as well. So
punting into the wind in this first quarter.
So we'll see
right to left.
The Wildcats come back out we'll see the Spartans come out in offense, and it's going to be a handoff to Gregory, who falls up the middle, and it's going to be a gain of 3 on the play. Just a handoff up the middle, and they've been running out of that shotgun formation a lot, and that is something that gives you options as an offense, but if you're going to be running it a lot, you typically like to give your running back a little bit of downhill momentum before you hand it off to him.
Absolutely, I would agree. It gives time for the blocks to set up, get that butt in the hole, hit the hole hard, and get some yards.
8:21 left here in the first quarter. Still no score between these two teams, as we're going to move the chains just a little bit after that gain.
Moving it up a lot. Was there a penalty on the play? I
believe there was, actually. Maybe unsportsmanlike conduct.
Could have been. It looks like they moved them up about 15 yards. They're up to the 39 now.
Yeah, 39-yard line here for the Spartans. Spartans trying to get situated here on offense. They'll have 2 running backs split between their quarterback, Cooper. Looks like number 19, Rick Gross, is going to come just a little bit closer to the formation.
Jacob Dreitz in the backfield alongside Gregory.
And this is going to be a pass, and it looks like, Cooper's just going to take it and run with it. He's not going to get much as he's swallowed up by the Wildcats defense. And it looks like that'll just be 2nd and 10 after maybe a failed run attempt.
So it looks like they're really trying to move the pocket and give their quarterback some space to work with, but he doesn't seem to be super confident in this early portion. Maybe it's the wind, maybe it's some other outlying factor. Throwing the ball down the field right now, as he's really just been looking for those lanes to run. I'm not sure if that's designed or if that's something that he's just making up with on the fly, but looks to be a lot of quarterback runs to use his athleticism early in this game.
Cooper is going to set up once again in the shotgun formation as he steps back looking for a pass, and he's going to find it as it's going to be number 17. That's going to be Marquez Hurst.
Incomplete. The ref on the backside, he comes in and overrules. Must have not gotten his feet in bounds on that play.
Yeah, we don't have the best angle with the blue sideline right there. It gets tough to see that white line, so it'll be a 3rd and 9, I should say, as the Spartans are trying to look to convert. They're 1 for 2 so far today.
Come out in the empty here.
Put a man in motion.
That's Gregory in motion. First time maybe we'll see him throw the ball downfield today, and
this is going to be
that's got to be a false start. Looked like
that was false start on quite
just about every
people.
receiver.
Yeah,
it's one of those false start offense, everybody but the center moments.
Yeah, it definitely is. I mean, like you said, it was almost every receiver on that left side especially just got off about a half a second too early. That's going to push them back another 5 yards, so it's going to be 3rd and 14. And so far, penalties have cost both teams so far in this one. And right now, looks like it might hurt the Spartans just a little bit more as they've had one extra drive so far.
Absolutely. Looks like they're going to go conservative here.
Hands it off, or no, it's just going to be a quarterback keeper, and Cooper going up the middle. He's going to get to about the 43, 44 before he's brought down, so it's going to be another fourth down coming up here for the Spartans. It looks like they're just going to send out their punt team as well, and we'll see if maybe the Wildcats can maybe flip the field. They do have a chance to get something going here or on the special teams because of that wind, like you mentioned, but also right now they're only at about midfield, so a chance for a big breakaway for a punt return could be something that you might see.
Absolutely. Mendez back deep. Impact player for sure. Got to be careful. Rugby-style kick.
And this is going to bounce at the 46 and just roll all the way to the 30 and to the 20 or
24.
24, yep. And that is going to be downed by the Spartans. So no run back there. And as a former punt returner, a former storied punt returner in yourself, what did you see there from Mendez?
I mean, that ball really got up in the wind, started to helicopter. That's something that's really tough to catch. You know, you want to keep your elbows in so that ball doesn't get through you. But I think Mendez made the smart decision. It really wasn't a great look to set up a big return. The risk-to-reward ratio is not great there. So I think that's a smart play, set up the offense, and live to fight another down.
And here we go, the Wildcats hand it up up the middle, and it's going to be a gain of 2 on the play. So the running game has not been working so far for the Wildcats. Kind of has for the Spartans, but both teams trading body blows here early on in this one. 6 minutes left here in the first quarter.
Absolutely. I think it's only a matter of time until we see the Wildcats open things up on offense. I mean, like we said, I keep saying it. It'll probably be a broken record all day long, but with Mendez, he leads the nation in touchdowns for a reason, and he's got to be their go-to guy at some point.
So shotgun formation and a pump fake and then a throw over to the sideline, and it's going to be caught. I believe that is number 13. Or no, that wasn't 13. That was number 14, Stevie Leo, on the catch. And it's going to be 3rd down and 6 coming up here for the Wildcats. They're 0 for 1 on the 3rd down conversion rate. What are you looking for the Wildcats to do here on this 3rd down to pick up a first one?
Well, I think you got to come up passing situation. You don't want to be too conservative here. I think 3-step drop, get the ball out, look for something maybe over the middle, get behind those linebackers and layer that ball in there.
Shotgun formation, 2 receivers left, and it's going to be number 13 trying to work his way out. He still is on his feet, and he's going to eventually be brought down, and that's going to be a sack of about 4 or 5 as he is brought down beyond the sticks, and that is a huge stand-up defense there by the Spartans, and the Spartans now are going to be able to receive the punt here as the Wildcats are going to punt it away.
Absolutely. It looked like it was Aliu Kanta for the Spartans who got in there as Beal started to roll out for the Wildcats. He came up and blew that play up, and he was not having any of that. Big 3rd down stop for the Spartans about midway through this first quarter.
And this one's punted away, and this one is a lot better than that first one, all the way back to about the 31. Makes a man miss, and now he's looking left, goes back right, and he's going to be right along the sideline and pushed out of bounds near the 45-yard line. So a good punt return there for the Spartans as they get the ball back near midfield again.
Denzel Miller, what a play. Catches the ball with a man right in his face, makes one man miss, tries to reverse field spin move, and is able to get, I'd say about close to 10 yards on that return. That is a heck of a job by Miller to put his team in great field position. They're going to be setting up shop on the 41-yard line.
Yeah, so and it's got to be tough to not only catch that, but then look in front of you and make a move to make a guy miss before, you even really control the ball completely.
Absolutely. It's one of those toughest things because you got to look the ball all the way in because you can't muff it.
And it's going to be a handoff on the left side. That is going to be number 11 for
Jacob Dreitz.
Yes, so Jacob Dreitz for the Spartans as they get going here on their 3rd drive so far. Both teams haven't been able to get much going. Defense has ruled on both sides of the ball. Both teams have kind of relied on their defense early on in this one. 3:35 left in the first quarter.
A little bit of a surprise. We talked a lot about both teams' offenses coming into this game. They played and it was 35-29. That's not a low-scoring game. I'm a little surprised personally to see the offense where it's been.
And now it's just going to be Cooper looking for an outlet, and he's going to overthrow his man who is coming back towards the sideline and couldn't get there in time. The dive, all for naught, as it's going to be a third down situation, 3rd down and 10 coming up for the Spartans.
Mm-hmm. They really had Cooper. They had Cooper rolling over to his left, his offside. That's a tough way for quarterbacks to roll, but still was able to deliver a pretty accurate ball. It just missed. It was 26 Tony Friends, who was outstretched on the sideline. He just could not bring it in.
So
looks like there must be a holding. They're bringing him back about 10 yards.
Yeah, and that's huge because
the last time there was a holding penalty, Gregory put the ball on the ground. Let's see if they can stay mentally tough here.
And that was right around this area as well of the field. So we'll see if maybe history repeats itself, as once again Cooper's going to be in the shotgun formation.
They got 3 running backs.
That's 3 running back formation, and it's going to be a handoff right up the middle, and the Spartans aren't going to get anything there as they keep pushing, but it's not going to get much on the play, maybe 2 yards in total. Actually, I think they're just going to mark them down as 1. So now it's going to be 3rd and 19, or 4th and 19. No, it'll be 3rd.
3rd and 19.
Oh, my gosh. It's too early for me, Thomas. It really is.
Absolutely. Late night last night, Max?
No. Just I haven't been sleeping well.
Oh man, that's not what you want.
I'm sure that these guys got a little bit of rest in before this game, but I mean, sometimes those pregame jitters, they get to you the night before as well.
Absolutely. Looks like they're going to come out in the same formation. 3 running backs. Looks to be Gregory, Dreitz, and
we're gonna
Friends in the backfield, but they're going to
get a stop, and it's going to be a timeout for the Spartans. Maybe they didn't see something that they liked, or maybe they were just trying to set up a different play.
Absolutely. Interesting. Came out and their first couple drives, they tried to spread the defense out a lot. They were going with 3 receivers, 4 receivers, and just Gregory in the backfield, if a running back at all. But now these last couple plays we've seen, they've come out and I'm not even sure what formation to call it. Not a power I, but it's got 1 tight end down with all your linemen, 3 running backs all lined up side by side in the backfield. You can do a lot of different things in that formation, a lot of power running, but it's interesting to see them pull this out on their own side of the field, especially in the down and distance situation.
Yeah, it's kind of a modified wishbone formation.
Absolutely.
But instead of having the the little Y,
the stagger.
The stagger with the fullback, it's just all of them are right next to each other, shoulder to shoulder.
It's a formation I used to bring out with my flag football team I used to coach back in the day. Those 4th graders on the other team's defense could not touch it.
As we are now out of the timeout, and it looks like on 3rd down and 19, we're going to go back to the spread option or spread offense look. 5 receivers, 3 right, 1 left, and Cooper's going to try and make something with his feet. He's going to gain all the way up to the original line of scrimmage before he's pushed out of bounds. And that won't be enough, though, as it is now going to be 4th and 10. And that is where that holding call comes back to haunt you.
Absolutely, because, looks to be about 4th and 11 to 12 right now. If they don't have that holding penalty, you're looking about 4th and 1 or 4th and 2, and that'd be close to midfield. And that'd be decision time to see if you trust your offense enough, maybe give it to Gregory up the middle to try and convert and keep the drive alive. But now with 4th and 12 from your own 40-yard line, you're just going to punt that ball away every single time.
So now, like you said, they're bringing out the punt unit.
Mendez back deep again.
We'll see if he decides to return this, but this one is a terrible punt, and that's going to take an unfriendly bounce, and they're going to touch it, and it's going to be picked up, going the other way. The Wildcats have open room, and it's going to be a touchdown.
Oh, my goodness. What a play by Mendez. That ball gets up in the wind. It really went nowhere. It bounced at the line of scrimmage, so it would have been a net of 0 yards. Mendez came all the way up from his own 30-yard line, scooped the ball up right in front of the Spartans punter, and takes it 38 yards to the house, 6-0 Wildcats. Wow.
Well, he is one of the most electrifying players in the country for a reason, and we just saw it right there. A huge turning point here for the Wildcats. Both teams seemingly, in a stalemate on offense. Well, when that happens, you go to your special teams, and it came out on top for the Wildcats as they look for the point after here with a minute 42 left in the first quarter. Kick is up, and it is good. It is now 7-0 Wildcats.
Oh, it is no good.
No good. Oh, what?
Must have shanked it.
Must have. It looked like it was headed on the right way, so it'll just be 6-0 Wildcats.
Special teams, special play, special player, and then another special teams mishap. It is just a whole bunch of special stuff happening here in the last 2 minutes of action here. Wow.
And now if you're the Spartans, how do you respond? Because you did have to gut out that last win against Rochester Community and Technical College last week. That was a 12-7 win. So you're not new to this, adversity and having close games. But when you find yourself down like this, it can kind of push you back, and you got to push back on offense. You got to find a way to answer, at least have a long drive, give your defense a chance to have a break.
2 words, Rondarius Gregory. Give the man the rock, set up your blocks, and let him run. He's been the best player on your offense all season long. The man can average, like we said, almost 118 yards per game. I think that's going to be the key. I think you just got to get hard-nosed, tough football here. And I think this is a big one for these return men back deep. I think you got to set up a nice return. You don't want to have your back against the wall coming off of a play like that.
And the wind is going to play effect here, as well as looks like we're going to need a holder for the ball, and it's going to be a little squib kick up the middle.
Conta grabbing it for the Spartans.
And he's going to run to the right side, and he's going to find a little open room, but he's going to be brought down at the 45-yard line by number 18 for the Wildcats, and Noah Strickland, one of the defensive backs, coming in and really laying a little bit of wood on the returner there.
Absolutely, and that was a great job by Ali Okanta, just grabbing the ball on the hop and not trying to be too fancy with it. Just turn on the jets, use your speed, get up the field, and look to carry the ball about 20 to 25 yards, and sets up the Spartans with great field position now in a spot where they really need to set up a good drive and bounce back here.
So Cooper leading his team out there in the backfield. Who else but Gregory, as we'll have 4 receivers as he puts a man in motion. It's going to be a jet sweep, and the receiver is going to run out of room. He's going to be chased out of bounds at the 49, and we're going to have a flag as some extracurriculars are getting started here. Number 19 for the Minnesota State. That is going to be Rick Gross getting in the face of a couple Wildcats, and a couple Wildcats getting back in his face as well.
Absolutely. I mean, no love lost between these rivals. They've played each other once before. They've played each other enough times in the past. I mean, big part about games like this, it's mental. It's not just always the physical side, but you have to be able to execute mentally and keep your composure, because you don't want to put your team. It'll be 15 yards on North Dakota State, giving them a break, giving the Spartans a break on offense for a team that really has not done much on offense today. That is not what you want to do. You have all the momentum on your side for North Dakota.
Yeah, you did it right after that Mendez touchdown on the punt return, and now all of a sudden the Spartans are in the deepest part of the field that they've been all day, and it's because of a penalty, so a very correctable mistake. We'll see if the Spartans can take this gift and run with it. No pun intended, as Gregory is in the backfield. 4 receivers spread equally on both sides, and we're going to get up this play whistled dead before the ball is snapped, and we're going to get another timeout for the Spartans.
I think that's a decent call right now. You're still in the first half. Timeouts aren't as crucial, as they are in the second half, wanting to have them down the stretch for time-saving purposes. But I think this is big drive. You're as deep in North Dakota State's territory as you've been all day long. You really want to get this right and have no miscommunications. I like the call here.
So we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we will be out of this timeout and ready to go for the rest of the first quarter. 6-0 Wildcats on top of the Spartans. And we'll come out of the timeout, and just like that, we'll get another whistle before the ball is even snapped. So
looks like it was just a clock issue. They still had the timeout on the board. Looks like they got that fixed now. And no, they're still talking about something as the two refs now come together.
Well, breakdown of the scoring summary. Pretty easy. Mendez just a couple of minutes ago, scoop and score.
38 yards.
Yep, brought the ball back 38 yards after a really bad punt by the Spartans. And then the point after was shanked, and that brings us to our score that we have right now, 6-0.
It's about as good of a summary as you can get, Max.
Yeah, it's a pretty in-depth one as well as we get going here in the first quarter. Shotgun formation, they hand it up to Gregory, who goes right up the middle, dives forward for about 1.5 yards. And, hey, they've been feeding him, but so far that front 7 for the Wildcats have stood strong.
I mean, it's got to be something you game plan for all week.
And it looks like they have. So far, they haven't been trying to do anything too different or too special. They haven't been running a lot of stunts. It's just been right up the middle, just finding gaps.
Just straight bull rush, know your gap, know your responsibility. Sometimes it's not always the most exciting football to game plan for, but it is effective.
And once again, a shotgun. This time it's going to be a throw, and he gets hit as he throws it, throwing it deep, and it's going to be intercepted by, I believe that's number 8, Cage Linton. Cage Linton making a couple guys miss as he brings it all the way to the 24-yard line, 23-yard line.
Correction.
That's going to be Will Dapier. As just like that, the Wildcats get things going back in their direction on momentum-wise or something like that.
Wow, that is not what you want. That is a momentum killer. You shoot yourself in the foot after North Dakota State was helping you out for most of it. Yeah. You get the ball on the 34-yard line, but really just not a smart play, throwing it up into the wind, into I don't know where he was trying to throw the ball. It was very high up into the air. It was very underthrown, and it was a heck of a play by Dampier to get the ball back for North Dakota State.
And just like that, North Dakota State now starting on their own 23, pump fake here as it's going to be Buell coming out of the pocket, and he's going to be thrown down near the
about 18-yard line, I would say.
18, and that's a big sack for the Spartans as they come out and answer right after that pick.
That was number 58, Deontay George, getting in the backfield there. No, excuse me.
And that is going to bring us to the end of the first quarter here. 6-0 is our score between the Spartans and the Wildcats. Still a lot more time left to decide who is the MCAC champion. When we come back, we will have the second quarter, and we will continue the Wildcats drive right after this. Original line of scrimmage after the sack, but so far for the Wildcats, it's been the special teams, and the special teams has been the difference in this game so far. But Mendez, we thought he was going to be a factor. He was a factor in being a punt returner as the Wildcats now come back out in the shotgun formation. They're going to hand this one up the middle, and that is going to be number 12, Grant. And he's going to dive forward for, I'd say, 4 or 5 yards.
So they set up a 4th down. Looks like they're going to bring out the punt team again. Now they're going to have their backs to the wind here, so let's see if they can hit a better punt. I know it was not the greatest punt for North Dakota on their first one, but let's see if this can go a little bit better.
Well, the last time we had a punt from this part of the field, it was returned, but this one is going to be punted all the way to the 30-29, and it's going to be received by the Spartans, who go back towards their 25, and he's going to be brought down at the 24.
Trying to do a little too much. Denzel Miller makes a great play to run over and catch that punt on the run, but sometimes you just got to put your head down and take your losses there and not try to do too much. He does, and it loses them even more yards, and they're going to be setting up a little bit deeper in their own territory than you'd like.
Yeah, definitely. And when you're a returner, what kind of goes through your mind to think, oh, I have a chance to maybe outrun this guy. I should go backwards. What would you have done there if you were going to outrun him?
I think you gotta carry your momentum. He was going left to right, catches the ball on the run. I think you just got to try and turn up the sidelines and get as much out of it, because sometimes you're not going to have that perfect block or that perfect hole to break a big one, but I mean, sometimes the name of the game in punt returning is just getting 4 or 5 yards to help out your offense just a little bit more.
Spartans are now set up on the 28-yard line, their own 28, as they get going here in the second quarter, and it's just going to be a keeper, and it's going to be a good one as well, as Cooper is going to make a couple men miss. He's all the way up to the 40-yard line before he's pushed out of bounds, so that is a first down for the Spartans. And that is probably the biggest chunk play we've had so far this game.
Absolutely. Nothing much to it. Just a snap, turn, quarterback rolls out, get the blockers out in front. That's what we see that the 3 backs for, just to get some lead blockers for either your running back or your quarterback. I mean, it makes sense with Minnesota State having such a mobile quarterback. Could be a good adjustment, a key adjustment, something that North Dakota State could not be ready for. Is it looks like they're going to come out in that same formation with 3 in the backfield.
As Cooper goes under center, once again, that 3, and it's going to be a handoff up the middle, and it's going to be good for about 8 or 9, and it's going to be marked as 9, so run right up the middle and a little misdirection. So far, Spartans are moving on this first drive to open up their second quarter.
Absolutely. Jacob Dreitz, put your head down, run hard. It's another 9 yards. Looks like they're starting to have a little bit of success on offense, maybe wearing down North Dakota State's defense just a little bit. And it looks like they're going to come out, same formation again. Looks like I don't know if it's anything like the last 2 plays. They're going to run it right down the middle.
Well, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, just like you said. And it's
Ball
going to be
on
the ground, and it's going to be scooped by the Wildcats. 20, 10, and he's going to be brought down at the 5-yard line.
Wow. What a turn of events. Minnesota State finally having some success running the ball right up the middle. Again, it just looked like another quarterback to running back missed handoff situation. But Eric Lumpkin for the Wildcats picks it up, and he is, rumbling, bumbling, stumbling.
Yeah,
down to the 4-yard line, and North Dakota State now in position to go up 2 scores here early in the second quarter.
And that's huge for a couple reasons. So far, the Spartans have been, so far, I would say the better offense in this one. It's just been those turnovers. They've already got 2 so far, and we're not even halfway through this game yet. 12:22 left in the second quarter. But also, I mean, you give it to them right on the doorstep as well. So we'll see what the Wildcats can do with it, as Buell is in the shotgun formation for North Dakota State College of Science. He's going to keep it, and he's going to move all the way to the 3-yard line, and that is going to be where he is held before we get a couple whistles to end the play.
Absolutely. Spartan defense, they got to come out motivated here. The offense is not helping them out at all right now. They're put in a very, very tough situation, but a goal line stand, that even if the Wildcats come away with some points here, if you could hold them to 3 points, that is still a huge win for this Spartans defense and could even swing some momentum back the other way. defense showing like, hey, offense, we got you. We're going to do our jobs. You guys just got to do yours.
Trips left here, and it's going to be just a screen for the Wildcats, who move all the way to, I'd say, the 1 yard line, so they're right on the goal line. But it's going to be third down for North Dakota State College of Sciences with about 11:30 left in the second quarter. What do you do here?
That's a great job by the Spartans defense to pursuit and tackle to get Mendez down on the 1 yard line. If you're North Dakota State here, I don't know, they haven't had too much success on offense, but I think you just got to go smash mouth right up the middle and just see how it goes. But it looks like they're going to spread them out. We'll see what they do.
And it's just going to be a quarterback keeper, and Buell gets into the end zone. Touchdown, Wildcats. And just like that, it's going to be a 12-0 game. So a game that we thought was going to be pretty high-flying, a lot of offenses trading blows. It seems like the special teams and defense have been all that we've been talking about, and we're going to get a
Looks like we're going to get an illegal shift.
Oh, wow, that is
on the
huge.
Wildcats. That's going to push them back to the 6 yard line here. Now I don't know if you can run the ball from that far out. I think they're going to have to go to the air here.
This is where Marcilio Mendez really comes in handy if you're the Wildcats. Currently leads the nation with 12 touchdown receptions, and that is that is almost half their touchdown receptions. Actually, it is half their touchdown receptions. They have 24 touchdown throws so far this season as they come out in the shotgun formation. Once again, it's going to be trips left. They're going to have a singular wide receiver on the right. That's going to be Weinbar, and it's going to be Buell dropping back to pass. He's going to duck and try and get in, and it's going to be a loose ball in the end zone, but I think he already crossed. Maybe they're going to call that a touchdown, so it's going to be 12-0 Wildcats. So they went with the pass play. Nothing was there. A little bit of mobility in your quarterback with Buell, and just like that, you're up 12-0.
Buell wanted that rushing touchdown. That's all I got to say about that. They took it away from him on the illegal shift. He said to his guys, you know what, I'm just going to take it myself one more time, and it works out for the Wildcats. 12-0 here early, pending the extra point.
Well, we'll see if they can add that extra point, and it looks like we're going to get a full start here on the Wildcats. So penalties have really shown up early in this game, and if you're a coach, it's got to be just eating away at your lifespan right now. I know coaches, and they never like it when you take unnecessary penalties like offsides, false start, and we've already had a unsportsmanlike conduct as well. Those ones will really get to your coach as
Absolutely.
The kick is up, and it is good, right?
Yes.
Yep. All right. Can't trust my eyes.
Can't be too sure here now.
Can't trust my lion eyes, as it is now 13-0 in favor of the North Dakota College of Sciences. And right now, if you're North Dakota, what do you say to your defense to make sure that they don't get a little too high on themselves?
Keep grinding. That's all I got to say. Keep grinding, keep working, keep forcing turnovers, keep limiting the big plays. Minus those two plays that led right before the fumble happened, they were really shutting down the Spartans on offense, and I think they just have to keep doing the same thing. Like you're saying, it wasn't too complicated, not a lot of stunts. It was just play your gaps, play your position, do your job, and I think that's the biggest part about this defense. Everyone doing their job, everyone chipping in, 11 hats to the football. Yeah, is what I would be preaching.
So far, that front for the Wildcats has really made a difference. They forced 2 fumbles. They've found ways to get into the backfield, and so far it has paid off in spades for them as the kick is away, and this one's going to be a low line drive. It's going to be collected by a Spartan who is now at the 30-yard line trying to look for a play, and he's going to be brought down at the 36. We've got a flag that came in from the back. We'll see what that one is. Those ones usually mean it's coming back, and it is. It's going to be holding on the Spartans, so a good return, just kind of smushed away, as that's going to be a 10-yard penalty.
Absolutely. That's not what you want. I mean, Konta got the ball pretty much out to the 35 or 36-yard line. That's going to bring it back. Looks to be about at the 22. So that's a big difference in starting field position for the Spartans, an offense that's really been struggling so far. Rondarius Gregory, has really been a non-factor throughout this first half, has been struggling against this Wildcat front seven. Let's see if they can turn things around here.
Shotgun formation here for the Spartans. 2 receivers on each side as Cooper is just going to lose the ball as he was trying to throw it. It is going to be ruled a fumble, and we're going to have a doggy pile in about the 10-yard line, and it might be Wildcats ball, and that would be huge because that is another turnover. Already the Spartans have 2 turnovers that they have lost. One of them ended up in a touchdown, and it looks like the Spartans are going to keep the ball, but it's going to be a long second down coming up.
Second and a mile coming up for the Spartans, and it is just bad news bears right now. I don't know. I mean, it is just mistake after mistake. It looked like Cooper really didn't even have a chance on that. It was a free rusher. It was for North Dakota State. I believe it was Eric Lumpkin, number 10, the same guy who recovered the fumble on the last drive.
And we're going to get a whistle before the ball is snapped here. Looks like we're going to have
delay of game.
Oh, wow. Yeah, so delay of game, and you can't really push them back too much further than they already are. I mean, they will get the full 5 yards out of it, but after this, those 10-yard penalties start becoming half the distance to the goal.
Absolutely. You can't do much worse. And this second and a longer mile now, second and a country mile, as we'll call it. It looks to be about, oh, man, they got to get out to the 35-yard line. They got to get 29 yards here.
And this is going to be a handoff to Gregory, who falls up the middle. He's going to gain, I'd say, 2 yards.
2 or 3. And I tell you, this is a big situation here because now third and, oh, man, 26 yards.
0.9 miles.
0.9 miles. Yes, yeah. 3rd and 0.9 miles here. It's going to be 3rd and 26, the biggest thing to think about, because at least you're going to want to give your punter some room here. But they're kicking into the wind here in this second quarter, and we saw how that last punt went for the Spartans. This is near disaster situation.
And that was with
Minnesota
the wind,
State.
too.
Yes.
As Cooper is going to be in the pistol, hands it off to Gregory, who fights forward, and it looks like he's going to be brought down by about 3 different Wildcats, and they're going to make sure that he doesn't get too much further, and that's going to be, I'd say, a gain of 3 or 4.
A little love to the big boys there. Fred Lindstrom and Mitchell Thompson in there for the Wildcats, really not having any of it, busting through that Minnesota Spartans offensive line. And now
they have really been a big difference in this one, Thomas.
I would say that's the story of the game at this rate.
Yeah, as looks like Minnesota State is ready to punt it away. Like you mentioned earlier, they're going to be punting into the wind. We'll see if maybe that affects them, and it looks like we've got a late returner coming out there on the field, and we're going to get a timeout, I believe, for the Spartans, and that is another thing that maybe just is something that you can fix, but those little mistakes are starting to add up here for the Spartans.
Absolutely. Big chance coming up for the Wildcats. They have a chance to go up 3 scores here in the second quarter, and with the way this game is going, that looks, I'm not going to say insurmountable. There's a lot of football left to be played, but it really puts the Spartans with their backs against the wall here. A lot of pressure here on Carson McKnight to hit a good ball.
We'll see if he can do that. On the other hand, I believe it's going to be Marcelio going out there for the Wildcats. Already has one big return that put his team up 6-0, I should say. Actually, going out there, it's not going to be Marcelio. It's going to be number 4, Cameron Graham.
No, excuse me. You had that correct.
Yeah,
My bad.
Cameron Graham.
Looking at the wrong sheet. My bad.
I was like, I think I got that one right. So McKnight is going to get the ball, and he's just going to punt it away.
Much better kick. Over the head.
And it's going to take a friendly bounce as well, and this is going to go all the way to the 39-yard line, and it's going to be picked up by a Spartan, and just like that, much better kick, as you mentioned.
Absolutely, especially kicking into the wind. Had a nice little run-up, not a lot of pressure on him, was able to get a clean punt away. That is huge for the Spartans, especially at this point of the game, because you did not want the Wildcats to take over in your own territory again.
Yeah, so far the Wildcats, even though that they do have one of the better offenses, I mean, both offenses have been held in check by the defenses, and it's just been a game of kind of field position at this point. So far, the Wildcats have been able to capitalize on the field position, as this is going to be a handoff up the middle, and that's going to be a gain of 2. That's going to be a gain of 4, actually, as they're going to attack on a couple yards on after that. But 7:57 left here in the second quarter. All 3 timeouts remaining here for the Wildcats. On the other end of the sideline, 0 left for the Spartans. They've already used all 3. Just used their third one just a couple moments ago, as now it's Buell in the shotgun, for the Wildcats, and it's going to be a handoff up the middle, and it's going to be some pushing and shoving as the running back, Grant, is trying to, that was Chandler Ross Jr., who was trying to keep pushing the pack forward. He's going to be whistled down for forward momentum, and it is going to be 3rd and 4 coming up, and that is probably the most manageable third down that the Wildcats have had all day.
Absolutely, and if you're the Spartans defense right now, I sense an opportunity to get the ball back to your offense here with a chance to put some points on the board here in this first half still. I think they got to be opportunistic here. You cannot let the Wildcats move the chains.
Shotgun formation here for the Wildcats. They're going to hand it off. It's going to be just a throw, and it's going to be an incomplete pass looking for Kemmer Graham on the flat there, and, it just went in and out of his hands while he was diving for it, and now it brings up 4th down. Now a chance for the Spartans to maybe turn the tide of this game, maybe get it going in their direction just a little bit.
Absolutely. Another chance for Miller, for the Spartans to set up a good return and to put Minnesota State in a good position to go get some points. And, that looked to have been tipped.
And it's going to take a friendly bounce, and Spartan is going to pick it up, but he's going to be met almost immediately at the 30-yard line. And looks like we've got a little bit of extracurriculars. No, not too much, actually. I thought that there was maybe something going on the sideline, but we're just going to keep on playing football here, as it is 6:41 left in the first half, 13-0 in favor of the North Dakota College of Sciences, on top of Minnesota Community Technical College, I should say, of Fergus Falls. Right now, Minnesota State is number 1 in the nation, and North Dakota State College of Science, they're number 3. Winner of this one probably is making it into that big bowl game, as this is going to be a handoff or a misdirection handoff with Cooper, and he's just going to run it up, and I believe he got the first down. He's going to have an extra yard actually after that run. So big first down for the Spartans, and maybe they can get something going here before the half.
Absolutely. That's a great drive starter. You don't want to, especially when you start a drive, you don't want to go backwards on that first play. You really want to step up, get some positive yards, get the momentum going. And honestly, I think the best plays that the Spartans have had on offense all day is just giving the ball to Cooper, snapping it to him, and letting him run with the ball. He's shown a lot of mobility, and I think you just got to keep working it.
And this is going to be a handoff up the middle to Gregory, who gets tripped up, but he's going to fall forward for a gain of about 5 yards, as they're going to get separated here. That's going to be a gain of about 4 yards, but 2nd and 6, and Gregory has kind of been stifled. He's been a non-factor so far. He's going to come off that's going to be number 6 for the Spartans coming off the field. I thought that was
Griffin coming off the field for the Spartans.
But
now he looks to be coming back on the field now. And number 26 will be coming off the field. Tony Friends. Nope, Friends will be on the bottom here. We're just all over the place.
And I think that was a little bit of a design play, and Friends is going to get hit after he reaches out for the ball, can't quite corral it, and it is going to be an incomplete pass. So 3rd down and 6 coming up here for the Spartans. Neither team has had any success through the air so far today. Is that going to maybe change here later as we go on?
I mean, I feel like it's going to have to open up at some point, especially if you're the Spartans. I mean, they really haven't had much going for them on offense. The Wildcats have been very opportunistic, but, I mean, the Wildcats are going to have to get Mendez involved at some point. He's your best player on offense, and I tell you, the Spartans right now, I think they just need to keep maybe ground and pound.
And this is going to be a high snap to Cooper, who's going to be on the run right off the bat, and he's going to find a little bit of running room. He's down to the 40-yard line, stiff arms a man who brings him out of bounds.
And that'll be a flag, and we have got some extracurriculars now. Not too bad. Looks like
you got to separate that quickly, and you
Carter Wentzman for North Dakota State in there, shielding his guys away from the Spartans guys to avoid any more extracurricular after the penalty. Good on him to keep his guys out of there, but it looks like that'll be an extra 15 yards added on. Big break for the Spartans.
Well, yeah, and for a team that hasn't really been able to get too much going, their last drive ended up with a turnover. This drive, though, they've started to move the ball quite effectively, and just like that, they're going to get an extra 15 yards. So we've been saying it, North Dakota has not been helping themselves with these penalties. Neither team really has. A lot of sloppy football, but that is the kind of foul that you really wish you could take back.
Absolutely. That's just something unnecessary. It really is. That's a mental mistake when you're really have been in control of this game the entire time, but now the Spartans are going to have a chance to go put some points on the board. Another example, getting the ball to Cooper and just letting him run. That's been the most effective thing the Spartans have done all day. But honestly, if it's not broke, don't fix it. If they're going to sell out to stop Gregory or to stop, stop Gregory or stop Dreitz, you might as well give the ball to Gregory. He's fast, he's shifty, can make men miss. And it just showed on that play, getting a big gain.
Well, yeah, and right now we're going to have a little bit of time as it looks like the refs are trying to figure out some of the belligerents on each side, make sure that they kind of jot down those numbers and make sure that they also have the correct down and distance on the board. So it's going to be first down and 10 at the 38-yard line. Wildcats.
Back to that power formation, three runners in the backfield.
And this is going to be a handoff up the middle for the Spartans, and he's met right away. I believe that was Dreitz who was carrying the ball, and he was met right away, and that is going to be second down and 10 after a big first down hold by the Wildcats.
So it looks like the Spartans were bringing in an extra O lineman on that formation instead of a tight end. Try and get a little extra beef up front to try and move that front seven back for the Wildcats to no avail. Second and long, they're going to go back to that three-back formation.
And it's going to be a handoff to Gregory, who's met in the backfield, and he's going to be dropped at the line of scrimmage. Actually, this may be a loss of 1 yard on the play. Yeah, it will be. So it's going to be third down and 11, and we've mentioned it. Gregory coming into today's game led the nation in touchdowns, led the nation in rushing yards per game, but so far he has been bottled up by this Wildcats defense.
Mm-hmm. That's something I got to question a little bit here. They're going to come out and that same formation. I don't know if I like this, to be honest. They were really moving the ball, giving the ball to Cooper and letting him run, but
and this is going to be Gregory met in the backfield again, and to continue on your point, he has not been a factor so far.
I tell you who's been a factor, Eric Lumpkin.
Yeah.
He has recovered a fumble. He's got a sack, just another tackle for loss there. But like I was saying before that play, it looks like we got somebody down on the field for the Spartans. It's
hard to see. Looks like Friends is just kind of blocking our vision here from the booth, but hopefully everyone's all right.
Yeah, I cannot see who's down right now, but that's something you never want to see. No one ever wants to see injuries on either side.
Well, yeah, and that's one of the O-linemen, and whenever you lose, an offensive lineman or a defensive lineman, that can really affect your game throughout if they can't return, because they keep the pressure away from your quarterback. They also create the holes. They are the key to winning on offense. And right now for the Spartans, they've got a man down, and it looks like they are not Yeah, it looks like they're going to ask some people to help him get up, and that's not a good sign if you're a Spartan fan.
Absolutely not. You never want to see anybody go down injured, especially in a game like this. You put in so much work and so much time throughout the course of the season to play in a big game like this, in a conference championship, and to go down with an injury in it, it's just unfortunate. Looks like it's 66 for the Spartans.
Could be Xavier Urania. He's listed as number 67. But
just unfortunate to see.
Yeah. I mean, either way, it doesn't really matter who it is. You just hate to see it.
You just hate to see it. Now, let's turn back to the game for a second as he's getting helped off the field. I'm going to go back to my point I was making right before that third down play. I don't understand the play calling from the Spartans side of things. You're moving the ball. You just had a great third down run with Cooper, running the spread, just that quarterback keeper. And then they went right back to that formation with 3 running backs and trying to just power the ball right down the throat of the Wildcats. And you get stuffed twice, and they go right back to it on 3rd and long. I don't understand what they're trying to do. Why would you switch it up if it was working? But I guess I'm not the coach, and it'll be McKnight to boot it away for the Spartans.
Weinbar back deep to return, and he is at the 10-yard line, and he's just going to let that one bounce, and it takes a friendly bounce at that as it rolls out of bounds at the 5-yard line. So maybe for the first time, McKnight has gotten a break, and the Spartans have gotten a break as well, as they have really pinned the Wildcats against their own goal line. Only 5 yards separates them from their own end zone. We'll see if the Spartans maybe try and dial up the pressure here.
Absolutely. That could be something good. I mean, we've seen the Wildcats really struggle to move the football through the air. This could be a big opportunity for the Spartans to maybe get 2 points out of this if they can push them backwards.
Wildcats coming out in the shotgun formation, so already you're kind of almost daring yourself to move the ball, as this is going to be a handoff up the middle, and he's going to be met behind the line of scrimmage. That was Grant, I believe, who received the handoff, and he's going to be brought down near the end zone, or at least he's going to be brought down for a loss.
Somebody who I am not seeing out there for the Wildcats and have not seen out there for the last drive or two is number 1, Marcelo Mendez. That could be a huge loss if he's not out there for them. I know he caught that screen pass that got them down to the 1-yard line just before the Buell touchdown, but we have not seen him on the field for the Wildcats since then.
And once again, it's going to be a shotgun formation. Doesn't look like Mendez is in there, and it's going to be another run. This time it's going to be Buell who breaks a tackle, and he's going to get all the way
ball's
down
on the ground,
and he's going to lose the ball. Who recovered it?
Looks like it's North Dakota State who kept the football. It looked to be number 87, Dylan Jurgensen, hopping on the Buell fumble. Wow. Looked like a big play and almost a disaster for the Wildcats, but they catch a break. Great heads-up play by Dylan Jurgensen to hop on that loose football.
And with that quarterback keeper as well, get out of the shade of their own end zone and just get a little bit of breathing room. And even if that just means that you add on a couple extra yards to your punt, I think that they'll take that instead of maybe what could have been a safety, as it's going to be a shotgun. Hand off, and no, it's going to be a keeper by Buell, who's going to be brought down in the backfield by, I believe that's number 9, Chio Trotter, the linebacker for the Spartans. And that is a huge play for the Spartans as well, just to get something going their way after a big first down run by the Wildcats.
Absolutely. Looks like we have an injured player coming off the field for the Wildcats as well. Looks to be number 13.
That's Buell.
That's a big loss for them. That's their quarterback.
Yeah.
But actually it looks like he's he's still over on the edge of the sideline right now. Are they going to keep him in, or are they going to? Nope, looks like he's going to stay in the game.
Yeah. If it were to come to it, Boxwell would be their backup quarterback. But looks like Buell is going to just trot over, and he's going to rub some salt on it. just keep on going. Rub some dirt on it, too. Maybe some dirt. You never know.
That's true. Just rubber pellets, maybe. I mean, it is a turf field.
Be hard to find some of that stuff.
I mean, you could get some dirt off the sidelines. Yeah. I mean, get some Mississippi mud maybe. We are set up with a beautiful look of the Mississippi River here in St. Cloud.
And that's going to be a timeout for the Wildcats, their first of the half.
No, it looks like they're keeping the clock running. Oh, no, I guess that was the timeout clock. Wow,
You're locked in.
Yeah, I'm dialed right now, I tell you. But
it's fine. It happens to the best of us.
Absolutely. But I think the Wildcats here, I can't envision them doing too much here. They're really in control going into the locker room up 2 scores. I think you really just want to limit the mistakes because it's not like the Wildcats' offense has really been clicking. They've just capitalized on some mistakes from the Spartans.
Yeah, and also if you're the Spartans heading into halftime, yeah, it feels bad to be down 13-0, but at the same time, you take away a turnover and a really bad punt.
And it's 0-0.
Exactly. So, I mean, you can't necessarily hang your head too low if you're the Spartans because not only could this game be a lot closer, you also got another 30 minutes of ball left to play.
Absolutely. Blessing and a curse. I mean, you're down 13. You don't like it, but you're only down 13 at the same time.
And that's going to be a run up the middle for the Wildcats, and they're not going to get too much out of that as well. So it's going to be a 3rd down and long coming up for North Dakota State College of Sciences. Buell's still in there for the Wildcats.
They're letting that clock run. I mean,
might as well, too.
Honestly, no reason to force something here, especially you don't have Mendez on the field right now. I'm not sure what happened. I mean, my best guess, he must have gotten shaken up on that screenplay down on the goal line. I don't see him over on the Wildcats sideline from a distance. We are on the far side of the field from that, but that is a huge loss as now the Wildcats here are going to call their second time out of the half.
Well, and they're going to, once again, like you said, they ran the clock down all the way, but so far, if you're the Wildcats, your defense has been probably the headliners. That front 7 has been absolutely spectacular for you. They've been bottling up Gregory. They've been getting in the backfield. They've been causing havoc. They've also gotten a couple of fumbles as well. What do you do? Do you change anything going into halftime or what?
If you're the Wildcats defense, I would not change a single thing. You have smothered the offense of Minnesota State all afternoon long. I think you need to really keep that going. The only thing I would watch out is for Cooper in the run game, because that's been the biggest glimmer of hope I've seen from the Spartans on offense all day. But other than that, there really hasn't been too much. And if I'm the Spartans on offense, I would keep giving the ball to Cooper because Gregory has just been shut down and has been a non-factor in this first half.
Well, it looks like we're just going to get a quarterback kneel to end the first half. And just like that, we're going to be counting down from 22. But so far, the Wildcats find themselves out in front of the Spartans by a score of 13-0. We've got 30 minutes of football left to play, but at halftime, that is our score between these two rivals. And when we come back, we'll have a little bit of a breakdown of what these two teams may look to adjust heading into the second half. Welcome back to Huskies Stadium, and we do have a little bit of quarterback news for Minnesota State Community and Technical College Spartans. It's been Jesse Stills at quarterback, not Cooper.
Yep, that's our bad on that. We apologize for that. No, we got a chance to breathe and take a look at halftime, and it has been Stills in there for the Spartans. He is a defensive back by trade, 5'11", 150 pounds from Kansas City, Missouri. And that plays in a lot to, I think, the offensive struggles we've been seeing for the Spartans. I mean, obviously the passing game hasn't really been there, but so if you're the Spartans in the second half, I think you just play to his athleticism.
Yeah, well,
I think you let him run the ball.
Well, and they have been able to find some success here and there with him running the ball. He has been, when he does do some of those naked bootlegs, it has worked out for them. But, I mean, that is kind of the thing. When they have done it, and they haven't been doing it a lot lately.
Absolutely. I mean, we saw it on that last drive that they had in the first half. They ran it a couple times with Stills, and they had some positive yardage, especially on that third down play. It was about 3rd and 6, and I believe he rolled left and picked up about 15 yards. But I tell you, that really is just big to not have your starting quarterback. But it's been interesting to see. I wonder why the backups aren't playing for the Spartans. I think number 12, Christian Reed, or number 13, Amarian Robinson, are both listed here on our rosters as quarterbacks, but they are not in the game. Interesting decision by the coaching staff to go with a freshman defensive back to play quarterback in the conference championship game when you're the number 1 team in the nation. Yeah,
well, and, injuries happen and things like that, but at the same time, you want to make sure that you're putting your best team out there, and we'll definitely see if maybe they cycle some guys around. But so far, one thing that really has been evident for the Spartans is quarterback or no quarterback, you do have Rondarius Gregory, and he has not been the Rondarius Gregory that we thought he would be coming into today's game.
Absolutely. If you're the coach, Max, if you're the coach from Minnesota State, what are you saying to your players in the locker room after that first half?
It's 13-0. This is two bad plays away from being a tie game.
Absolutely.
Or a lead. So we got to make sure that we cut down on the penalties. We also have to make sure that we're doing our little assignments right, because right now it's been those little things that have really piled up for the Spartans that have kind of buried them into this 13-0 hole. It's a hole that they can easily climb out of, but they're going to start on defense to start off the second half, and that could sway things one way or another, especially if you get a stop or if you give up a score, as this one's just going to be a squib kick, and it's going to be muffed by one of the Wildcats. That's actually going to be number 40 for the Wildcats. Trying to take a look here. Roosevelt Cage, a running back, and I do believe the Wildcats took over and did recover the ball, but a scary situation for North Dakota right off the bat, and that is not something you typically like to see coming out of the locker room with a 13-0 lead.
That'll wake you up.
Yep.
That'll wake you up. This is so unrelated, but we were talking about it just a minute ago. You know what this reminds me of, this Minnesota State quarterback situation?
What?
Kendall Hinton. 2020, you remember the Broncos?
Yeah.
Locke and, Bortles and...
Yeah, it was...
What other no-name quarterback went down?
This is going to be a handoff up the middle for the Wildcats. That's number 24, Porter Howie, but continue.
Yeah, just, I don't know, got your emergency quarterback situation here. Probably thrown into duty, I would assume, earlier this week with not a lot of prep. And, I mean, it could be a feel-good story if he could lead his team to a comeback here in the second half. It'll be something interesting to watch as the second half plays out. Hopefully, for him, he'll be able to settle in a little bit more.
Shotgun formation. They hand it off to Howie again, and he's going to barrel his way. He's still going, and he's going to get, I'd say, about 4 yards out of that, and it's going to be 3rd and 3 coming up for the Wildcats. But Stills is down there on the sideline for the Spartans, throwing the ball around, staying warm, but right now the Wildcats have the ball, threatening to cross midfield.
Still no Mendez out there. That's a big storyline.
Both teams playing without some key players. Buell in the shotgun will just keep it. He goes to the right, and he's not going to fool very many people as he's brought down at the line of scrimmage, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Nathan Hubbard Jr. delivers a big hit. He was already wrapped up, but he came in there and delivered the finishing blow. That's a great start for the Spartans on defense to open up this second half.
Well, and it can really shift momentum, too. Your defense coming up with a big stop like that can really kind of just, make the offense feel a little bit better, and the offense gets to go out almost right away.
Absolutely.
And the punt is going to be kind of end over end, and it's going to go out at about the 20-yard line. Good punt there by the Wildcats as they look to set up something here. That was Hunchak for the Wildcats punting it away.
Looks like number 3 for Minnesota State, slow to get up on the play. That is Alio Kanta. But he's up now and walking over towards the sideline under his own power. And now here we go. We're going to see what
Jesse.
That's the receiver for the Giants. My bad. We'll see what Jesse Stills can do here in the offense for Minnesota State. Looks like they're going to come out in a little bit of a pistol.
Yeah, they will come out in that pistol formation. And it's going to be a handoff to Gregory, who goes to the right side. He's got a little bit of running room, and he's going to be brought down just before the first down marker, it looks like. So a gain of 9, and that's the biggest gain that we've seen from Rondarius Gregory all day today.
That is true. It has really been tough sledding for him, especially throughout that first half. But that's a good, positive run. That's the biggest thing about halftime. You're able to reset, refocus, make some adjustments, and come out with a fresh energy. And that's a great start for Gregory in the second half.
Handoff up the middle, and this time he won't be as lucky, as it is now going to be a loss of yards. Gregory swallowed up behind the line of scrimmage. And
it's going to be about third and a long 1, short 2. Now, if you're, I don't know, I think we've seen a lot of misplays on third down with Stills in there, a quarterback. I think snap it to him, let him use his athleticism, let him use his speed, get him out wide, and let him pick up this first down by himself. I think that's something that Minnesota State's had some good success with so far.
And they are on that right hash, so he can just go. As he muffs a snap, he's going to try and get something out of it, but he's going to be swallowed up beyond the line of scrimmage, and just like that, almost on cue, a muffed snap by Jesse Stills, and that'll bring up 4th down after a promising start with a 9-yard run to start them off. They now find themselves at 4th down and 7.
That is the 3rd time the Spartans have put the ball on the ground today, if not 4th. I know they've lost 2 already, but if you're the coaching staff for Minnesota State, I don't really know what else you can do. You're throwing him in there. He's doing all he can, but it's just the inexperienced thing. He's just not a quarterback by trait. They're just going to have to figure out something that'll work at some point.
And the punt is away, and that is going to be end over end, and that's actually going to keep bouncing down to the 20-yard line and past that, and it's going to go all the way to the 17. So a huge kick there by McKnight to flip field position for the Spartans, and just like that, after you're thinking, oh, well, now the Wildcats are going to get it at about the 40, 30-yard line, they are all the way down at the 17.
Absolutely. That's a great job by McKnight. Again, he's high risk, high reward, I would say, with those rugby-style punts. We saw it burn him once already, but ever since that one brutal punt in the first half, he's really turned it around, and he's been doing his job to flip field position. Now we got to see the Spartans defense go to work and try to maybe do what the Wildcats did and force a mistake or create a turnover to help out Stills in that Spartan offense.
Shotgun formation for the Wildcats, and it's going to be a handoff right up the middle, and it's actually going to be bounced out to the right side, and that is number 12 for the Wildcats. Their number 1 running back in Aaron Grant for them, getting about 5 yards on the play, and now it'll be 2nd and 5, but we haven't been seeing a lot of big plays like that for the Wildcats. Maybe the biggest play that they had was, maybe 6-7 yards, but that's a big play to start you off here on your second drive of the second half.
Absolutely. Oh,
and this might be a free play.
They're blowing it dead.
And this is going to be
This will be
flagged.
a big call here.
Yeah.
Looks like I see the side judge there, the line judge, signaling offsides, and looks like
encroachment.
It'll be encroachment.
Yep.
And it looks like that'll move it all the way to a 2nd and 1 now for the Wildcats in great position. Now, this is a great time, 2nd and 1, one of my favorite times, to take a shot down the field. I know you don't have Mendez. They haven't had him since the second quarter, but
actually, that's going to give him a first down.
Oh, that'll give him a first down. Never mind. Well, I take back what I said. Maybe it's not the great time to take a shot down the field like it is on 2nd and 1.
Well, you never know. Maybe you do take a shot here just because.
We haven't seen a shot play all day long. We did see the one, but when Stills threw it up, and it did get intercepted, but we haven't seen it from Buell yet. And
Buell going down deep, and it's going to be incomplete. Flag on the play, and we're going to get pass interference. And Thomas, I don't know if you pull the flag out on that play. I mean, as much as we've been seeing, good defense. I just think that's what that was. I think that was good defense. I don't think he really.
I would say by the book, that's PI.
Okay.
By the book. In a game like this, defensive battle where that can swing momentum so much, I'm not sure if you call that, but I mean, they were hand fighting all the way down the field, but I did see Aliu Kanta grab the receiver. I believe it was number 50. I think it was Brady Borgen for the Wildcats. Kanta did put his hands on him downfield and cause him to stumble, and looks like that'll move the ball all the way to about the 42-yard line. And
yeah, it's not a spot foul in
up to 15
college.
yards.
Yeah, it's a 15-yard penalty in college and junior college. So
I like that a little bit more, honestly. I don't always love those 45-yard penalties you see in the NFL.
Yeah, that really can switch momentum.
It's so hard to be a defender in today's day and age with all the high-powered offense that is played.
And once again, this is going to be a handoff to Grant, who gets a handful of yards. That's going to be maybe 5 or 6 before he's brought down. And just like that, this Wildcat offense is starting to move the ball pretty effectively to start the second quarter.
Absolutely.
Or second half.
Absolutely. Just a nice little momentum swing right there, forcing another stop on defense, getting the ball back, even a penalty there. We were talking about it just before it happened. We hadn't seen a shot play. They took one. It results in a positive gain, even though it wasn't caught. And now the Wildcat offense is really in business here.
And now another pass play. It's going to be out onto the flats, and Wildcat is going to get leveled there. That was actually Jackson Weinbar who received that, and he's going to be stopped at about 2 yards before the first down line. So 3rd and 2, chance to convert here again for the Wildcats, or if you're a Spartan fan, chance to get another stop here in the second half.
Absolutely. It was a great job by that receiver to hang onto the football. Aliu Kanta came in with a ton of speed and really laid the lumber there. 3rd and short now. Let's see what they try to do.
Our handoff up the middle, and that is going to be enough for the first down and some. At about 3 more yards past the first down marker, and the Wildcats convert, and they are starting to move the ball here now past midfield, and they'll set up at about the 45-yard line of the Spartans. And now if you're the Spartans, you got to kind of start to wonder, hey, we got to get a stop here quick because there's a lot of time coming off that clock. 8 minutes, 38 seconds left here in the third quarter, and you don't want the clock to be your enemy in this game, especially when neither team has been able to find some offense, as a throw downfield is going to be incomplete, just underthrown. It's number 83, Dayton Smith, who was just a little bit underthrown by Buell, but
that was a
otherwise,
touchdown waiting to happen right there.
Yeah, he had split the defense.
He beat Kanta clean, running wide open across the middle of the field. If that ball is about a foot higher, it's 20-0 Wildcats here, and that could have been huge. But the Spartans, they catch a break here. Now they really got to capitalize. And like you were saying, you don't want time to become a factor, but I think the biggest thing right now for the Spartan defense is to not panic. It is still 8-20. We're only about halfway through this third quarter here. If you can get a stop and get the offense back on the field, you're giving them a chance, and that's really all you can ask for in this situation.
Another shotgun look and a muff to snap by Buell, looking to take a shot now as he rolls out to the right, throws on the run, and it's going to be picked off by the Spartans at the 20-yard line and falls forward for about 3 extra yards. Actually, they're maybe going to say incomplete? Looked like the ref had waved his hand.
Personal foul,
incomplete.
roughing the passer on the defense. Wow.
That is
what a
huge.
huge break. I wish we could see a replay of that. I saw him release the ball. I did not see the hit. But wow, the Wildcats are going to catch a break here, as that'll move the ball up a lot, and that'll wipe out the Jordan Madreno interception. That was really a break that the Spartans were looking for all day long, and all for naught now.
Yeah, that is huge, because not only does it move the ball forward, you get the ball back as well for the Wildcats, and now you're just treading deeper and deeper into Spartan territory. You're going to find yourself at the 30-yard line here on this first down. It's a big play with 18-16 left in the third quarter.
The rarity for the quarterback, I know Buell would have wanted that one back regardless, and now he gets an opportunity. He gets that back, and let's see what he can do with this second chance.
Handoff up the middle, and that is going to be number 29, Weston Snyder, falling forward for a gain of, I'd say one or two.
Looked to be Ross. Chandler Ross on that carry, actually. Falling forward, but we'll see. Now, again, Spartans defense backs against the wall, but I still, if they can get a stop here, they're kicking into that, they'd be kicking into that huge wind.
Yeah, and that would be definitely tough.
That would be hard for any kicker right now, but especially the Wildcats right now. So if the Spartans can get a stop here on this chain of downs, that's a big stop right there.
That's number
Danny
8
Disterhalf
for the
Spartans.
Wildcats. Number 8 for the Wildcats, Cage Linton, met at the line of scrimmage.
By Disterhalf.
Yeah. And
now it'll be third and about 10.
And that is how you respond to that kind of penalty, roughing the passer, if you're a Spartans defender. You come back and you force a third down and long, and now you have a chance to get off the field here, because that is going to be about a 35-yard field goal if you want to take a shot at it. And now it's going to be Buell in the shotgun, steps up,
taking
throws deep, and he overthrows his man. And it'll bring up fourth down, but that is a huge miss for the Wildcats. A chance to maybe go up 20-0, like you said.
Beal was going to want that one back again. He had his receiver, again, in the seam right in between the defense, overthrew him by just about a step, and now that's going to set up 4th and 10, and it looks like they're going to keep the offense out there for the Wildcats, which, honestly, I like the decision. I mean, you can't kick a field goal here. I mean, from the 30-yard line, you're kicking about a 47-yard field goal into the wind, but you really don't want to punt the ball from the 30-yard line either. And with the state of the Spartans offense right now, I like the aggressive call from the Wildcats here. Let's see if it pays off.
Shotgun formation, Buell stepping up in the pocket, lets it go, and it's going to be caught. No, it's going to be stripped away by a Spartan defender.
It's Madreno, number 4. What a play to stick with it. He was beat on the route. I'm not sure who beat him. He came up limping. I believe it was Jackson Weinbar who initially made the catch and was heading out of bounds. But it's a great job by Madreno to not give up on the play, rip that ball out on the end. And now you set up your offense on the 30-yard line in decent field position. And now it all comes back to Jesse Stills.
Yeah, so we'll see if this Spartan offense can grease the wheels and start getting going here on first down and 10 on their own 30-yard line.
A little WD-40 on a cold day. That'll fix anything.
Exactly. Pistol formation. They're going to hand it off to Gregory, who dives up the middle, and he's going to gain about 2 yards on that carry. And we've been talking about it. It's been a storyline throughout the game. Gregory just hasn't been able to break one here in this game, and so far the Spartans really need it.
Absolutely, and I think that plays to the game plan of the Wildcats. I mean, you know that you're not really going to have to worry about the pass game too much with Cooper not playing for the Spartans. Why not sell out and stop Gregory and make them beat you in any other way?
So far, that Wildcats front seven has stood tall and really pinched down at the inner gaps of the formation and have found ways to just get into the backfield as well and create some havoc as Stills in the shotgun formation, and he's going to go out to his left trying to find something, trying to make a guy miss. He won't, and we're going to get a flag from the backfield, and that's never a good sign for an offense because that usually means it's coming back 10 yards.
Absolutely, and that is not what you want. I mean, if you're the Spartans offense, you cannot afford any mistakes, mental, physical penalties. You need to be smart and you need to be crisp in all aspects to help out your unexperienced quarterback.
That's going to be false start.
Illegal formation, I believe. They must have had too many people in the backfield, not enough on the line of scrimmage. Wow, big play there. They're not going to give them the extra play. They're going to decline that penalty and keep the ball where it is, and it'll be about 3rd and 7 here upcoming for the Minnesota State Spartans here.
Spartans now coming out of the huddle. This is a huge down for the Spartans if they can convert here. As Stills is in the shotgun, puts a man in motion, and he's just going to go out to the right, and that is going to be picked up by Friends, but was it a backwards pass?
It looked to be a backwards pass. Maybe they were trying to set up a double pass here, but great work by Friends to just get on the ball and still try to make something out of it, but it's going to be 4th down upcoming for the Spartans, and they're going to have to punt the ball away here with 5:45 left to go in this 3rd quarter.
Now,
at what point do you try a fake a fake punt?
Oh, I'd say it's coming up pretty soon here.
I think you'd have to at some point.
Especially with the lack of a quarterback, you kind of want to make sure that you keep defenses honest. And, I mean, what better way to to kind of keep them honest than a fake?
Tony Friends is out there. He's a receiver. He's on the end of the line for the Spartans.
McKnight back. And he's just going to punt it. And this is another bad punt. And that is going to take a friendly hop, but it's not going to do much as it's going to get to maybe the 45.
That'll be about a 12-yard punt.
Yep. And that is not going to help the average, I expect.
No, that'll be one of the outliers out there, second one of the day. It's not really what you want. How you doing? Keep it moving. But, puts the defense now in a tough spot. But the defense, it's the only reason I'd say the Spartans are really in this game right now. They're playing with a lot of heart, but I feel like at some point the floodgates are going to open and time's going to run out on this Spartan defense. They've been out there a lot.
Yeah, and
another opportunity for the Wildcats here.
And that run game has started to kind of open up for the Wildcats as well, as they have started to mix in little passes. This is going to be a handoff to Grant, who finds a little seam, and he's going to jive his way forward for about a yard or so, and that is going to bring up 2nd and 9.
Yeah, it looks like Wildcats really trying to still establish that run game. Again, not much of a pass game here. No Mendez. Missing, again, Buell missed a couple big plays that could have been touchdowns on that last drive.
Yeah.
But I tell you, I mean, with the way this game is going, and I hate to be a broken record, but with the state of the Spartans offense, if I'm the Wildcats, I'm content with what's going on right now. You've capitalized. You're up 2 scores. The offense for the Spartans has shown no signs of being able to really beat you.
Grant going up the middle, makes a couple men miss, and dives forward for a 1st down.
That was a heck of a play by Grant going over the Spartans defender to pick up that 1st down.
Yeah, so, and just like that, they are now on the 35-yard line, and they just keep on just driving the ball down the field a little bit at a time. And, I mean, at this point, especially if you're the Wildcats, what you kind of want to do is you just want to keep the ball in your possession for as long as you can. Because, I mean, with a 13-0 lead, even though that is pretty surmountable, I mean, the way it's been going has not been maybe the best for the Spartans, as this is going to be a handoff up the middle to Chandler Jr., and he's going to be brought down at about the 29-yard line.
Absolutely. Another great run to get a positive gain on 1st down, stay ahead of the chains. And, I mean, it's not the time to move into the, quote, the traditional, 4-minute offense if you're the Wildcats. But like you were saying, Max, just control the ball, keep the time of possession.
Yep.
The longer you keep that Spartans offense off the field, the better. You're going to keep wearing out that defense. And the way this game's been going, I mean, one more touchdown could be more than enough for the Wildcats to close out this game.
Buell in the shotgun, and he's just going to hand it off to Chandler, and Chandler's going to be met at the line of scrimmage, and he's not going to gain anything, I imagine, out of this one. As if he does, maybe it's a half a yard, but big play there by a Spartan up front. And we've been talking a lot about the Wildcats front seven on defense, but this Spartan front seven has done pretty well too throughout the game.
Absolutely. I mean, they've only given up one touchdown, and that it wasn't even on them. They had their backs against the wall and were set up shop inside their own 5-yard line. This has really been a gutsy performance from the Spartans defense.
As
big play here.
Man goes in motion here for the Wildcats. 3-step drop by Buell. Buell trying to find something as he's flushed out of the pocket. He's running to the left. He's being pursued, and he gets dropped behind the line of scrimmage. And he will get a couple, he'll just be dropped a couple yards back, but still, that's a tough loss for the Wildcats.
That's great pursuit by that Spartans defense. I mean, everyone broke into the backfield here. We were just talking about that front seven a moment ago, and it was Chris Heidel who was able to finally pursue Buell and take him down. And again, it's decision time for the Wildcats, and they're going to keep that offense out there once again here on about fourth, and we're going to call it a long 6. Another huge play upcoming if the Spartans want to even stay in this game here.
Buell in the shotgun formation, 2 receivers right, 1 left.
Low snap.
And a low snap is going to be caught by Buell, who goes deep, unloading, and it's caught! Did he hold on to it is the question.
Yes, he did. That is a touchdown.
Brady Borgen with a big catch and a big touchdown to put the Wildcats up by 3 scores.
Wow, what a play by Buell. Low snap, fakes the handoff. He starts rolling to his left, turns, gets his feet set, throws crossbody, just a beautiful ball. Nice, like Russell Wilson-esque throw, I will call it. Drops it right in the bucket
rainbow
to Borgen, and it's 19-0.
Pending the extra point, could be 20. And that would be huge for the Wildcats and almost a dagger as this one is up, and I don't think he made that. Oh. No, he didn't, and it is 19-0.
It is a tough day for the brand out there. Any Pat McAfee fans? Huck Chank, 1 for 3 on extra points, but still the big one's the 6. That's what they got, and it's 19-0 now. And if I'm the Spartans, I mean, it's do or die on this drive, I would say.
We'll see if maybe they start to make some adjustments on offense, go back to that T formation.
Some frustration starting to boil over on the sideline as I saw a Spartan player slam his helmet. I believe that is we're not going to say names on that. We don't need to call anybody out there, but just the frustrating starting to mount in a big game like this. You know, this defense plays with so much heart all game. They're not getting a ton of help from the offense, and just a tough situation right here for the Spartans.
As now the Wildcats get set up to kick it away. Back deep for the Spartans.
One thing I want to bring attention to just for a second is Dylan Jurgensen out doing the kickoff duties. That is the tight end for the Wildcats, who's also their kickoff specialist. Love to have a jack of all trades on your team.
Definitely, as he boots this one down, and it's going to be fielded by the Spartans.
Conte.
And Conte going to find a little bit of an edge before he's forced out of bounds at the 36-yard line, but minute 31 left. It's go time here for the Spartans, who have not been able to get anything going on offense. Of course, they're missing a quarterback, but in playoff football, hey, you still got to play. And right now they're playing with Jesse Stills, who will lead out his team. The wide receiver turned quarterback. We'll see if he can maybe get something going for this offense.
Absolutely. I mean, I think it's a big situation. Is he? I don't think Stills is out there. It looks like they got a
Gregory
looks like he's going to take the snap. I don't even think Stills is on the field. It'll be Gregory to take it in the Wildcat.
So maybe
false start.
And that is huge for the Wildcats. And
that was Isaiah Griffin in the slot there. Jumped early, and that's going to, again, just another mental mistake, and it's going to be 1st and 15 for the Spartans to start this drive.
And that has been something that we talked about during halftime. These mistakes, these penalties, they're starting to mount up for both teams, but especially for the Spartans, as they are now at 1st and 15. They are now back to the 33-yard line, 32, and
looks like he's
going to be a throw by Gregory. No, he's just going to take it and run with it, and he falls forward for a couple of yards. It'll be about 2nd and 11 coming up, or 2nd and 10. Mm-hmm. So he gains
now, could
handful.
We be just seeing a complete switch at quarterback here? I'm looking around on the sideline here for Stills, and I do not see him anywhere down on the sideline. It looks like it's going to be Gregory again. This could be their quarterback option for the remainder of the game.
And that might be just a switch, thinking, hey, we got to get something going, as Gregory is going to run up the middle after taking the snap, and he's going to fall forward to the 40, and that'll bring up 3rd down and 8, I believe.
I was just able to spot Stills on the sideline with his helmet off. It does not look like he's going to be going in the game right now. I mean,
that's huge.
That's huge. I mean, but he did all he could. He gave it his best shot. But I mean, I don't blame the coaching staff for wanting to try and make a change, to try and spark this offense here, because you're really running low on time and you really have nothing to lose right now.
Yeah, and so far you haven't really been able to find any sustainable offense throughout the game so far.
They break the play late. 3 seconds to snap the ball here. And they get it off.
Gregory out of the shotgun. He'll just throw a lame duck, and it's going to be mishandled by Friends, who lets the ball drop, and that'll bring up 3rd down and long.
I believe it'll be fourth down.
Fourth
down and 7. And that'll bring us to the end of the 3rd quarter. Wildcats on top of the Spartans here. 19-0 here at Spartan Stadium.
Husky Stadium.
Wow, Husky Stadium. It's been a long day, my bad, but 15 minutes to go here, 4th and 7. I really am out of answers here for the Spartans.
Yeah, we'll take a break, and when we come back, we may have some answers. We may also not. You'll just have to come back and see here at Husky Stadium. The MCAC conference championship is underway, and we've got a little bit of misdirection on both sides as the field flips sides, and now the Spartans will be moving from right to left. But
Spartans tried to go quick there to try and get maybe get a penalty for too many men, but the refs blew it dead. It looks like
the Wildcats took a timeout.
That's a smart play there, because that would have been a free 5 yards, but looks like they're going to keep the offense out there. The Spartans are, and I can't blame them right now, down 3 scores with 15 minutes left to play. I think they're going to have to. I think you really got to abandon the punt team. The defense has done all they could, but you're not going to win a game at this point with the defense on the field.
Yeah, you can't play to lose, or you can't play to not lose at this point. You got to go for the win. Gregory out there as the new running back. Friends to his left. 2 receivers on the right and on the left. Gregory gets a snap, steps back, throws onto the sideline, and was that caught, or did he have his
incomplete?
Feet
they call
inbounds? Yeah, it's going to be incomplete, but the pass was intended for number 17 for the Spartans. That would have been Marquez Hurst, but
just couldn't keep his feet in bounds there. It looked like the pass, like he caught the ball, but just couldn't get that foot in bounds. That is a big turnover now, with the Wildcats looking to really just salt this one away.
Yeah, you got to imagine another touchdown becomes almost, I wouldn't say impossible, but it's a pretty safe bet.
Mm-hmm. That mountain is just getting a little bit steeper by the minute here for the Spartans. The Wildcats really are probably starting to, they can sense that blood in the water.
So it'll be a shotgun for Buell, who takes it, hands it off up the middle, and that is going to be number 44, I believe. 24. Yeah, that's going to be Porter Howie. So Howie goes forward for a handful of yards, and that'll bring up 2nd and 9 after a great run on first down. That's the kind of run that we didn't see in the first half from this Wildcats offense. We were seeing a lot of, second and third or 2-yard and 3-yard runs instead of, getting these 7, 8, 9-yard runs. And now all of a sudden they've started to get those again.
Absolutely. I think it just plays into how much the Spartans defense has been on the field, especially in the second half. I mean, the offense just has not moved the ball, and the defense has been on the field just constantly. I mean, got to be some tired legs out there for the team in blue.
Howie runs forward for a first down, and he's going to check out of the game, as I believe they're going to bring in Grant for the Wildcats. But Wildcats so far have kind of, I wouldn't say put this one on ice, but they are really in control of this conference championship game and have put themselves in a good position to maybe get in that national championship game as well. Buell in the shotgun. 2 receivers left, 1 right, and this is going to be a handoff to number 40, Roosevelt Cage, and he's going to run forward for about 5 yards, and it'll be 2nd down and 5.
Yeah, you'd have to think one more touchdown here would probably be the icing on the cake, just with how we've seen both teams play and the momentum of this game. I mean, it speaks a lot to the perseverance of the Wildcats. I mean, they're doing it without Mendez. They're still moving the ball a decent amount, but I mean, we talked a lot in the pregame about both of the offenses, and we thought this was really going to be a shootout, and we stand corrected, as both defenses have just played really outstanding football today.
Handoff up the middle here for the Wildcats, and I don't believe they got enough yards on that run to get the first down, so it'll be 3rd down and 2 coming up after the handoff up the middle. Only nets them about 2 yards.
Another big opportunity here for the Wildcats. Pick up that first down, keep that clock moving, and it's really your last stand for the Spartans here. I mean, got to get a stop here and somehow find a way to put some points on the board, or this game is over.
Buell back in the shotgun. 2 receivers left. 1 receiver right, and it's going to be a handoff up the middle once again to Roosevelt Cage, who does get the first down this time. And it is now on the 13-yard line of the Spartans, as the ball just continues to trickle down the field with 11:52 left in the fourth quarter right now.
Absolutely. If it's not broke, don't fix it. The Wildcats have kept the ball on the ground this entire drive, and I mean, I can't blame them. No reason to put the ball in the air, put it in harm's way. If you're the running backs here, if you're the coach, just stress to those backs, hey, just 2 hands on the football, cover it up, get some yards, and keep this clock moving here.
Once again, another handoff, this time to Chandler Jr., who falls forward to about the 3-yard line and gets swung down. That's almost a first down. Great run by Chandler Jr., And that'll bring up 1st and goal for the Wildcats.
3 yards from pay dirt here, make it a 4-score game, and would probably put this one out of reach. This is the first time we've really seen, besides that long touchdown pass we saw on the last drive, it's the first time we've seen the Wildcats really string together a full drive here this afternoon.
Yeah, as they try and finish off this sustained drive with a little bit of points, maybe find 6 on the other side of the goal line. Shotgun for Buell, and we're going to get a timeout, I believe. No, we're going to get a flag.
Looks like it's going to be encroachment or offsides. 16. That is going to be on Denzel Miller. For Spartans, looks like he jumped across to try and press that receiver at the line a little early, and it'll cost this team a couple yards, push them closer to that goal line.
Honestly, though, if I'm the Spartan defensive coach, I like that penalty because you can't go back a full 5 or 10. You only go back half the distance, and right now you just got to do everything in your power to try and keep this, as this is going to be a handoff up the middle. Actually, it was a direct snap, and I don't think the Wildcats made it to the touchdown. And
looks to be about a gain of 1. Refs running in there to try and see where the ball ended up. Still waiting for a signal on the field.
I think, yeah, you're right.
Looks like they'll mark it down on the 1-yard line.
Yeah, so 1 yard to go here for the Wildcats to go up 25-0. Currently 2nd down on the 1-yard line for the North Dakota State College of Science Wildcats, looking to put this one on ice, and we're going to get a false start. So those penalties, they've been all over, and
they've been the killer story of the day, I would say. And that'll push him back a little bit farther, but honestly, if I'm the Wildcats to work the whole drive, I would just continue to ground and pound, giving the ball to Cage, giving the ball to Cage and Grant, Howie as well.
Yep.
They've really, that trifecta of backs has really been key on this drive. Let's see what they decide to do here. They're at the 6.
And this is just going to be a keeper by Buell, who goes towards the sideline, and he's going to be brought down at about the 4-yard line. So that'll bring up 3rd down and 4.
I still think they keep it on the ground here. No reason to have any weird interception return for a touchdown or fumble. Yeah. No reason to put the ball in harm's way here because, even if you come away with 3 points here, you never want to get stopped in the red zone, but 3 points here still keeps you up 3 scores, and really the stress levels are not super high over on that Wildcat sideline right now.
So it'll be another shotgun formation here for Buell. And it'll be another keeper, and he's going to try and dive for the end zone. Did he get across?
Looks like the ball's on the ground.
No, yeah, the Spartans are saying they have it. They come out with the ball.
They have the ball.
That's number 7, Deshaun Carter, with the ball saying, hey, I've got it.
We're still waiting for a signal, and we got 2 players down on the field.
Looks like it. We've got a couple more saying, yeah, we got this.
And it'll be a fumble recovery for the Spartans, a touchback, and wow.
That's huge, especially the touchback. That gives them a little bit of breathing space on offense as well. And just when we thought we may get a dagger, the book is still open. We may still have a little bit of a story left.
A little bit here, 8:41. You're going to have to go quick and find any way possible to move the ball if you're the Spartans. But I tell you, that just speaks to the heart of the Spartans defense. They've been the heart and soul all day long, playing their you-know-what off. And, that's a great goal line stand here. There's not much else to say about it. They're doing all they can, and you really have to commend their efforts here today.
Yeah, they have done everything they can except score at this point in the game. So now the Spartan offense, led by their lead rusher, Rondarius Gregory, who will be the quarterback in the shotgun. He'll step back, tries to get away from pressure, rolling out to his right, and this is going to be incomplete. Broken up by a Wildcat there.
Cenarius George.
Yeah. So he comes up big and blocks that pass that almost was the first completion, I believe, for
in a while.
Yeah.
They had a couple of short ones, I think, very early in the first quarter with Stills, but not much to speak of since then. But, I mean, there's not much you can do. You're in passing situations. You don't have a quarterback, a true quarterback, I should say, but you just have to look somehow to get some type of big play. If you're the Spartans here, you got to go quick.
Gregory in the shotgun, 2 receivers right and 2 receivers left. And we're going to get a whistle. And delay a game. So that's another penalty that will cost the Spartans 5 yards. And those penalties, like we said, they have just been adding up for the Spartans, and that's one of the reasons they find themselves down in this one.
2nd and long now. Let's see if the Spartans can get anything going on offense. Let's see if Gregory can just make a play.
Shotgun formation. He takes a couple steps back, and he's going to launch one down the field, and it's going to be incomplete, almost caught by a diving, I believe that's Stills out there, or if it's not Stills.
Looks like Walter Quick, I believe, with a diving attempt at that one. I mean, laid it up there, gave him a chance, just couldn't come down with it, and now it's going to be 3rd and long. Got to get some type of yards here if you're the Spartans to have any chance at moving the chains here, but they're going down swinging.
They definitely are. Once again, shotgun formation. Gregory as the quarterback. Two receivers right, 2 left. Gregory throwing deep, trying to find Hurst, and it's going to be intercepted by the Wildcats. And now the Wildcats going back the other way.
It's Tristan Wiggins.
And Wiggins comes up big for the Wildcats, and we've got a flag coming in at the end of the play.
Not much you can do there. I mean, you just got to step back and let it fly, and great play by Wiggins to snuff out that attempt at a big play for the Spartans. Let's see what the flag's on.
Looks like they're pointing towards the Wildcats side of the field, so
personal foul on Manny Garcia of the Wildcats. It'll be 15 yards, but it occurred after the interception.
So add on after.
Wildcats will keep the ball.
Yeah, but I mean, so those kind of penalties, they could come back and hurt the Wildcats if, the Spartans did have a quarterback.
That's true.
I mean, they've had quite a few so far today that of unsportsmanlike conducts and some silly penalties that if the Spartans did have a quarterback, that could really take a toll on that team. But luckily they find themselves up 19-0 and a chance to maybe go to the D3 NJCAA national title game.
Yeah, it's something that they're really going to have to clean up just in between games, assuming they're able to move on here, because you really won't want those in a national championship setting.
Handoff up the middle, and that is going to be gain of 2 for the Wildcats.
No quit in the Spartans defense.
No, they have really stood tall, especially in this fourth quarter. You talk about that. You want to talk about that goal line stand as the epitome of this defense's heart, and so far they have not quit yet. They are still playing till that scoreboard reads all zeros.
Absolutely. I mean, leave it all out there on the field. That's really all you can ask for, especially in a situation like this.
Buell once again in the shotgun formation. 2 receivers left, and he's going to hand this one up the middle. That'll be a gain of, we'll call it 3 for the Wildcats. And that was number 39, I believe, for the Wildcats running the ball.
I think it might have been Roosevelt Cage maybe out there again.
Well,
no, they really had a trifecta of running backs here today. It hasn't really been one guy carrying the load.
No, it hasn't.
It's been a very balanced attack for each running backs. Now it's going to be out there with Buell. It's going to be number
8, Cage Linton. Linton in the backfield, and he's just going to protect as Buell takes a shot deep, and it's going to be intercepted by the defense. Once again, this defense comes up big. Ali Okanta gets a pick. And just like that, the Spartans never say die mentality comes through again. And
here's some extracurriculars happen down there. Here's someone, his tempers are flaring a little bit, but get back to the field of play. What a play by Kanta. I mean, I've said it a million times. I'll say it a million more. No quitting this defense, and the time's really running out on the offense, but there's a player down on the field that looks to be Buell. That is a big loss for the Wildcats. This is really just not what you want to see.
Well, and he was kind of limping earlier in the first half, so I mean he may have some nicks and bruises, and getting hit again, that could really flare up an injury if there was one.
Absolutely. You never want to see that, especially in this situation, too. I mean, your team's up in the fourth quarter. Looks he's up on his feet now. He's got some of his teammates and coaches around him, but that's a good sign to at least get him on his feet here.
Yeah, quickly, too. And looks like Buell will be helped off the field.
Looks to be walking pretty gingerly there, which maybe holding his left hip, which is something you never really want to see.
Especially in a quarterback that throws right-handed. That left hip usually points to where he's going to throw, so he's got to load up on the back right and then unload.
All that weight transfers onto that left leg and that left hip
on the throw, so hopefully he's all right. Like we've said, you just don't want to see guys get injured this late in the season. As Gregory now coming out on offense for the Spartans.
Absolutely. 6:34 left. I mean, you're going to need pretty close to a miracle now for the Spartans to get back into it, but wow, the defense is giving you every opportunity.
Gregory in the shotgun. He's going to have Tony Friends switch sides, and he's going to be sacked and brought down to the 20-yard line, and we've got a flag. Looks like that might come back to be a face mask.
Positive play to start the drive, maybe, if that's what it turns out to be, but it looks like as Gregory was trying to escape to get rid of the football, he was grabbed by the face mask on his way down, and it will be a face mask, and that'll be 15 yards and a first down for the Spartans.
That may just be the juice that this team needs to maybe get going on offense. Just get a little confidence, get some yards under their feet.
Absolutely. It's one of the most positive things we've seen in the second half for the Spartans, a team that's really just been unable to move the ball against this front seven, as they're going to spread everybody out once again. They've really abandoned that T formation that we saw in the first half.
Yeah, definitely a lot different look as Gregory is going to swing it out to his tailback Friends, who's going to pick it up after it bounces on the ground, and it's going to be an incomplete pass. 6:07 left here in the fourth quarter, 19-0 Wildcats in the MCAC Junior College Championship game.
Looked like that pass was deflected by number 91. That's William Catchmark of the Wildcats. Great play by him as Gregory was just trying to float that ball over the defender to get it to Friends to try and get him out in space, but Catchmark not having any of that.
So it'll be 2nd down and 10. Gregory in the shotgun. Friends right there with him on his left side. 3 receivers right, 1 left. And this is going to be a throw to that one receiver on the left. That's Hurst, who gets it at about the 45-yard line. That's a big gain, and they are close to getting a first down here, and that would be
gain of 8 yards.
Huge.
Great little pitch and catch from Gregory. Found Marquez Hurst there on that sideline. First completed pass in I'm not sure how long for the Spartans. It's been a while, but maybe that can build a little confidence here, and they can put one in the end zone here before time runs out.
Well, they're showing pass here. 2 receivers right, 2 left. Friends in the backfield with Gregory. Gregory muffs the snap, and he's going to get hit right away as he just finds a way to hold on. Eric Lumpkin.
He's had a heck of a game. That's 2 sacks, a fumble recovery, almost a touchdown. Eric Lumpkin's really been the player of the day on this Wildcat defense.
He came out of that front line like a bat out of heck.
It was like a cannonball.
Yeah, just like a cannonball. Gregory in the shotgun formation.
4th down now.
Trying to just get something going for the Spartans as he gets away, and that's going to be a hold. And
I don't think he even got the first down anyway. Yeah, they're going to mark him short, so looks like they'll decline that penalty, and the Wildcats will take over.
Looks like some of the Spartans are trying to plead their case. That's number 74, Rudy Glancy, trying to tell him I didn't hold him.
Yeah, it's just, man, you really just got to feel for the Silent Spartans. You put in so much work. You go undefeated throughout the entire regular season. You get a big playoff win in their previous game, but just the frustrations are really just starting to boil over. And, I mean, I can't say I blame them too much.
No. Especially when you had such a magical season up to this point, to have it kind of sputter to a halt here. Absolutely. Just is a little heartbreaking.
Looks like they're going to actually accept that penalty. So the Spartans are going to get one more chance here on offense to try and make a play. They're going to have to make up, I'd say close to 20 yards. It's going to be 4th and about 18, I would say. But let's see it. I'm assuming Gregory's just going to have to throw one up here. I mean, there's not much else you can do.
2 receivers right, 2 left. Gregory rolling out to his right, throws it on the run, and that's going to be incomplete. And just like that, the Wildcats will take over in Spartan territory, and that's huge in the game with 4:35 left, and the Wildcats leading in this one 19-0.
Absolutely, and now if you're the Wildcats, you really just start to pack it in. You have that 4-minute offense. You really don't need to do too much. You don't even need to go and put more points on the board. You just try and milk the clock here, salt this one away, and move on to the next week.
Wildcats offense comes out, and
looks like
I don't believe
88? 80.
We don't got it. 88 on our roster, but this is going to be a breakaway here for, I believe that's Howie. And the Spartans defense trying to pry that ball away.
It was Snyder. Weston Snyder with the big carry.
Oh, yeah.
But looking around right now, and I could not tell you who's in the game at quarterback for the Wildcats.
Connor Overgaard,
a defensive lineman by trade. Wow, he's living everybody's dream right now.
I guess, as he finds himself in the shotgun formation after.
They should let him pass it.
Well,
come on.
We'll see And this is going to be a handoff once again, and the Spartans are going to hold Snyder to not much, maybe 2 yards, 3 yards on that one.
I tell you, this just reminds me of like the NHL in the 1950s. You know, they wouldn't carry backup goalies. So if the goalie got hit in the face with a puck or something and got cut, they just have to go back and stitch him up, and they keep playing.
Oh boy!
So it's really the same situation I feel like with these teams. And when it comes to quarterback play, they're really not carrying many backups, and so if they go down, they're really turning to. I mean, anybody who said they played quarterback in high school, if they did.
And it looks like the Wildcats will get the
first down
for.
It looks about it's first and goal
on the 5-yard line.
I still think they should let him throw the ball here. Probably won't. But
a wide receiver screen.
Yeah.
A rub route.
Might as well. I mean, it's not often you hear of a defensive lineman throwing a touchdown. A little Don Terry Poe action, anybody? You remember that one in Kansas City a few years ago.
And this is going to be a handoff to the left side. And
it's going to be Snyder again.
Yep, Snyder is not going to get much on that.
Looks like we got a player down on the field.
Oh, and that's a Spartan.
Deshaun Carter, it looks to be, for the Spartans. Not something you want to see here, especially with the game out of hand and only 3 minutes left. Really, you just want to see everybody walk away from this healthy.
Yeah, especially, it's junior college. A lot of these players are playing, 1 or 2 years to try and put up some big numbers, try and get the attention of some D1 or D2 schools, and then move on. So if you do get injured, it just kind of it hurts your chances of getting a chance to transfer to a big-name school.
Absolutely. I mean, that's the thing. Football, man, it's just part of the game, unfortunately, is injuries. It's just a part of athletics as it goes.
But looks like he'll get up and he'll walk off on his almost under his own power, and now he's going to need more help, so that's not a good sign.
He looked like he tried to, this is me being the optimist that I am, it looked like he just tried to stretch it out. It could just hopefully be a cramp or something late in this game, as now he's back to walking by himself, limping a little bit, but it'll be second down and goal from the 4-yard line for the Wildcats.
With 3 minutes and 12 seconds left. Overguard in the shotgun. 2 receivers left, 1 right. And he's just going to let time kind of run down. He still has 20 seconds left on the play clock. So he's just going to...
Spartans not calling their timeouts here. No real reason to at this point in the game with where the score is.
And this is going to be a handoff up the middle. Number 39 for the Wildcats, Rayshawn Simpson. From your home state.
Oh, is he a Wisconsinite?
Yes, he is.
Oh, where is he from?
Milwaukee Marshall.
Milwaukee Marshall. Well, if that's anywhere near Milwaukee, I know where that's at. But
I have not heard of Milwaukee Marshall. But I've heard of Marshall. I've heard of Milwaukee. Marshall, conference rivals. In the, Eastern Suburban Conference? Capital South Conference. That's what we were. It's been a while, but... Oh, Milwaukee. Good little town, home of the Bucks.
Handoff up the middle once again.
4th down upcoming again, and just another stand from the Spartans defense showing a lot of heart.
Yeah, I mean, they have not been able, the Wildcats, even though that they have the lead, and they're up by 3 scores right now.
They hit one big play this entire game, and that was really it.
Yeah. And that was there have only really been 2 big plays. And one of them was on special teams.
That's true. Yeah, that punt that just got caught up in the wind, and it was a heck of a play by Mendez. And
we haven't really seen
we have
him.
not seen Mendez since he caught that screen pass in the second quarter. I mean, you'd like to hope he's okay as well, especially since these Wildcats are going to be moving on here in their season. Let's see, the Wildcats took a timeout here. Must have run down that clock here. 4th down. I guess they're going to decide what they really want to do.
Might go for a field goal here.
Looks like they're going to keep the offense out there.
Yeah.
Or nope. They'll kick.
We're wrong.
We're wrong. All right, for the brand. Here we go. It'll be Hunchak here to try and tack on 3 more. Icing on the cake. A little bit of a high snap. Good hold.
And it's good.
It is not good.
Is what? That looked like it went through on.
It did look like it went through.
Oh, well.
That is a tough day.
That is a tough day.
Hunchak. But, hey, get your misses out now.
Yeah.
Because when you get to the Natty Championship, could need you down the stretch. And, get the misses out right now. No pressure on you. And just pack her up and call it a day there.
So it'll be 1:15 left here for the Spartans.
We'll see what they decide to do on offense. They're going to send Gregory back out probably at quarterback, and I wonder if they're even really going to try and take a chance.
15-0 Wildcats on top of the Spartans. Wildcats close to knocking off the #1 team in the nation. Although the Spartans came into today's game without a quarterback, they put up quite a fight.
They did put up quite a fight. I mean, it really came down to just a couple mistakes made by the offense and 3 seconds to snap the ball. Looks like oh, nope, they reset the clock as Gregory's going to be
almost dropped behind the line of scrimmage, but he's going to fall forward and
he'll get taken down, and that'll do it.
Yep.
The Wildcats win.
So the Wildcats win the MCAC championship, probably going on to the national championship as well. On the other hand, though, the Spartans dropped their first game of the year, and it was a big one here in Husky Stadium.
Absolutely.
19-0, though, is going to be the final score. But, I mean, talking about these 2 defenses, they really showed a lot here in this game.
Absolutely, I would agree. I mean, it was really just a couple big plays that were the difference in this game. I think the fumble recovery that got the Wildcats all the way down to the 4-yard line and the big punt return by Mendez in the first quarter. But other than that, it was just two really good defenses that stood strong the entire day, and good showing of sportsmanship. I still see some guys from opposing teams, I mean, amidst all the celebration, shaking hands and congratulating each other on a good game. So it's always good to see, especially in such a mistakes, a little bit, clean up some things on offense and defense, but really just minor adjustments to go into that possible national championship run. But
I mean, great showing. They earned it today.
Yeah, they did. So that's going to wrap us up here on YouTube. Thank you for joining us. Final score, Wildcats 19, Spartans nothing here at Husky Stadium.